Discount Ruslan.
See? That's why I know you were coming over here.
Yeah, but I want you to say them.
Boromov Enirge. I'm with you. Ari Raymond. Hey, that's a good one. Romanov's Sergey. Gordeev Dmitry. Yeah. Good job, guys. I like it.
Estonia didn't look bad. I mean, they gave Sweden a good run. It was just the big problem for them was survivability, and they had no answer whatsoever for that move up the center. Now, I'm wondering, see, we're about to head into this next match between France, Portugal, Poland, and Great Britain. So it's going to be France versus Portugal, Poland versus Great Britain. Looks like France already out there ready to go, along with Portugal, the guys from Blue Falcon that are comprising the national team here in the Veterans Division. But after they just watched this field play, and saw the effectiveness of Sweden's player getting up there in the center with Nicholas Dunham, I'm wondering if they're going to do the same thing. Because we didn't see as much up the center from Russia or Italy than we did for Sweden. Sweden went up there every single point.
They did, and that's the one thing where, we're talking about Estonia. The one thing I thought we saw them do that really stood out to me was the speed at which they progressed on the Dorito side, even when they were down bodies. They played that side very well, and it makes me wonder if that Swedish player, Nicholas Dunham, had switched his gun and they picked up on that and he played towards the Doritos, how effectively he could have shut those guys down making those moves.
Well, yeah, I'm interested in that too, but it seems like that when they got up there, by the time he was able to get up to that spot, because most people weren't taking much forward progression on either side of the field, so he was already up there and out and able to look and lock that lane down. If he had dropped the lane, that might allow somebody to actually get up there, even if we were to check off and try to go at least look at the D side. But it also looks like, at least to start the points out, guys are getting a little bit slower starts here in this Veterans Cup on that D side. Guys aren't getting into D3 right away. They're going to D1, D2, and then, like I said, like we were talking about at the Open, you can't see your mirrors.
Yeah.
So it might slow things down a little bit. This game is brought to you by Empire Paintball. Makers of fine paintball products and the EVS goggle system. Check out Empire Paintball. So looking at Portugal on your screen right now. Again, interesting story with the Portuguese team is that they are members of a team called Blue Falcon, which they told me has, I think, 260 members, typically playing big games and scenarios. They have have so many guys on that team, guys and girls, that they have their own big games where just Blue Falcon guys show up. Like, imagine how your team's so deep you can have a big game when just your team shows up.
That's pretty sweet.
Right?
That's pretty sweet.
So they decided to make the foray into tournament paintball, and now representing Team Portugal. The team was started by I believe a police officer from Lisbon.
Shout out to those guys. You can see them there on the box. France on the flip side of the field. We're out here and ready to go before that last match even ended. It seemed like those guys are walking on the field.
They're chomping at the bit.
Getting ready to play.
Hey, all the teams are on the sidelines right here.
Hometown, baby. Home country.
So Team France in the tricolor. And looking at Team Portugal on your screen here in the red and black. So Team France, the favorite in this one. When I talked to a couple players from the Portuguese team, they said, yeah, we're in a, we have a pretty tough schedule. We have France, Ukraine, and those are two of the better teams. So that's our bracket. They're in bracket C, France, Ukraine, and Portugal.
I want to see Norway. Bet you that's a good team. That's my sleeper team.
Norway's your sleeper team?
Yeah. Them and Poland.
Okay.
Those are the two I'm taking.
Just Poland for great grandpapa's pride or something like that?
Yeah.
How many generations ago did your family come over from Poland?
I don't know. That's something I tried to dive into. I know my grandmother. Before she passed away had went and done the whole Ancestry.com step by step, and she somewhere one of my family members has that history for my mom's side of the family, but my dad's, no idea. I know that my grandmother was from southern Poland. My grandfather never really talked about where he came from, but I'm pretty sure my grandmother, my Busha, was born in southern Poland.
Your grandmother?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I remember them speaking Polish when I was very young, and then it kind of faded away, and I wish they would have
tried to teach you some?
Yeah, I mean, I know some words now.
Yeah, what do you got for me?
All right, give me some time to prepare. Give me some time. Maybe we go to break. I don't want to say it wrong and offend any of my Polish comrades out there watching, because some of the words I got.
I was just wondering, because there was a great wave of migrants from Eastern Europe in the late 1800s to the United States, and then there was some more immigration because of the Great Wars. So I just didn't know when in those migrations that you came. But if you're from Poland, then there's a decent chance you probably came around that time, but potentially not before.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. I'm definitely going to have to look into that now. So again, I know I was told Janos.
Look at the Portuguese. The Portuguese are ready to
down,
go.
Dude,
Man.
that's the best warm-up. Oh, so look at this.
We have a little warm-up dance.
Staff's going to come out here and clean the bunkers. I like that. It's always good to see. Well, yeah, they're getting loose over there. Portuguese.
It's that breaking it down. Southern European flavor, man. They got that. They got that dance and fire to them. They're always very social.
Yeah, Janos.
The one time I got to play with the USA team was actually in Portugal. That was pretty fun, playing the national team.
And there hasn't been a tournament in Portugal in quite some time. Probably that might have been it.
Since then. Yeah, Lisbon was interesting. Lisbon looks a lot, it reminded me a lot of San Francisco. It looked a lot like Northern California.
Okay.
Because it's a big city that's very hilly, right on the ocean with a big port. So it kind of reminded me, it's not exactly the same as San Francisco because of the peninsula there in San Francisco, but it had a feel. It had the feel of San Francisco to me.
I've only driven through San Francisco. Never actually.
Oh, you're missing out. It's arguably one of the most beautiful cities we have in the United States.
Maybe the NXL will have a tournament there one year.
That would be pretty awesome.
All right, how about this? If you could pick 3 cities to have an NXL event in next year in the U.S. that we haven't had one in before.
San Diego.
We haven't had one in before.
San Diego. Okay.
We've never had a major paintball tournament in before.
Austin?
Austin? Okay,
I don't
kind of been close to Austin.
We've been close to Austin.
Round Rock. 2006 when it snowed.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting one because we show up in board shorts and it's 75 degrees on Thursday, and then Friday rolls around and it's 32 degrees and snowing. Texas, man. It's wild weather in Texas. Yeah, I'd say Austin would be nice, and I know we were close, but Round Rock is not Austin. So in Austin proper, that would be a cool place to have a tournament. Wouldn't mind going back to like Boston or Miami.
Where would you want to
go? Boston or Miami.
So there's tournaments there in both those cities?
We've had
7-man.
If you were to try to find a city that we haven't had a tournament, I mean, we've had a tournament in most of the major cities in the United States at some place in time going back. As far as one we haven't had.
I've got some ones that stand out to me right away.
That we don't?
Yeah.
That we never
Seattle?
ever had a tournament in?
Seattle? Is there Seattle, Portland, or Seattle? The times I've gone up there, I love those cities.
No, I mean we played tournaments in Portland before.
Right, but
I don't know if we've ever had one in Seattle.
A national.
Though. Seattle might be. I apologize, we're on a technical timeout here, so just trying to fill some time before we get this first point rolling between France and Portugal.
And Poland versus Great Britain.
But yeah, I don't think we've had a major tournament in Seattle.
Yeah, I'd say when you said San Francisco, I think San Francisco, Seattle for West Coast events. I think Boise. I would love to go up in that area.
Well, I've driven through Idaho before, but I've never spent much time in Idaho.
Yeah, I'd like to go there.
It's beautiful country.
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Through. Yes, Albuquerque, New Mexico would be pretty sweet.
And then I was trying to think of a town in Maine. Something way up there. Bangor.
Maine.
Yeah. And
Portland,
then
Maine.
Or Burlington, Vermont. Hit that up. I think Atlanta. Well, there's been a tournament in Atlanta. I'm not thinking not Georgia. New Orleans.
We've had a lot of tournaments in New Orleans. I literally went to Mardi Gras 6 years in a row.
So that's why I think a misconception people don't really understand from Mardi Gras. They know the name of the tournament, but that was a standalone event. That wasn't really associated with an NX.